Unfiltered by Jade.
Jade.
Welcome to the Unfiltered by Jade, where we educate, empower, and entertain. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, download, donate, and make everybody know about this.
Beats by RB Records.
Shopping assistance, your style, your budget. Our services include online and local shopping for individuals and businesses, personal shopping, purchasing of company and office supplies, importing and exporting small packages across Jamaica and worldwide, and helping you find unique gifts and items for all events and occasions. Contact us at 876-919-5195 or shoppingassistance2015@gmail.com. Shopping Assistance, your style, your budget.
Welcome back to the Unfiltered by Jade. Today we have with us here Mary Wyatt. And you have heard this name and you have heard this person before because she ended 2024 speaking about self-care for the new year. And we are here today and we're going to be speaking about her book, It Can Stop With You Johnnie. And this is about bullying. So before we even go into it, Mary is an author, she's a speaker, she's a coach, and I know she does so much more. Hi, Mary.
Hello there, Jade. Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for even closing out 2024 and even coming back again to even speak about your book. It's truly appreciated.
You're welcome.
Good. All right. So we want to speak about the book. Can you tell me what was the purpose of writing this particular book?
The purpose for writing this book, actually, I've been sitting on this book idea for a while. It was actually a skit, and I converted it to an actual book. And the purpose of writing this book is to address bullying that happens within the household. So I'm a survivor of bullying and domestic violence, and both of them have some similarities. So it is something that I wanted to cover because it was greatly important to me to share, but also it's important for the parents and the children to know exactly that it can happen in your household. It's not just stipulated to a school.
Lovely. I want to know, stemming on what you just said in terms of having the first-hand experience of bullying and surviving domestic abuse, etc. I want to know, how can a bully's behavior though influence someone's outlook on life?
Well, I will say a bullying behavior can influence a person that have experienced bullying because they will tend to isolate themselves. And as they become older, they will have social anxiety where they do not want to interact with people or anyone for that matter because of fear of rejection, or it may be some triggers that remind them of the bullying that they may have endured. So if you are a survivor of bullying and if you don't get help or talk to someone, it can have a long-term effect on a person.
Okay. Does this behavior start at home? And I'm talking about, I know you said you wrote it because of, it's starting the household, but why? Is it the parents that they see bullying people, or they see the parents bullying each other, the parents bully the kids? How does it start at home?
Well, I would say it starts at home. The book talks about, it's a scenario with a young boy who he is actually the bully. Okay, he's displaying bully behavior. I try to not label a child. I try to say, well, let's talk about their behavior and not label them because no one likes to be called any names.
Right.
So as we look at the household, it can It can start from having siblings, okay? We know they are sibling rivalries. It's like, no, I want to do this, or I do this better than you, or no, you can't play with this. Those are examples of what we call relational bullying, because you're kind of like, you're placing someone in a box to say, because you are this, you cannot do this. I'm going to do it. So it's more so relational, and it actually implies that you're trying to intimidate that person because you may possess a characteristic or something that that person may not necessarily have. So it can start from sibling, and it can also start from parents. Let me tell you, I've been at an event where, I talked to a mom and she said, wow, I did not know that my characteristics can be categorized as bullying, as in the manner in which we speak to our children.
Yes.
Some of us, we can speak to our children, and I can say that I'm guilty of it. If you don't do this, it's like we put pressure, and we're intimidating and causing them to do something in fear of, if they don't do it, then this is what we're going to do because you don't do
The
that.
outcome, right.
One of the things that you said as it pertains to teasing, what we try to do is, I recently was on a call, as it pertains to teasing and bullying can actually be separate. And what I mean by that, teasing can happen just a one occurrence, okay? Bullying is repeated, aggressive, and on purpose behavior. So it's just not isolated to one event. This is like repeated activity or repeated characteristics that is done to a person that causes them to fear or causes them to be afraid. So teasing can happen, like you can go somewhere, like a child can go somewhere. Let's just say they're outside playing with their favorite friend, and the favorite friend has a cousin over there, and they're teasing them for some reason, and they may never see that cousin again. And I like to say, when I grew up, I was picked on, and I said, Mom, well, why didn't they know anything about bullying back then? And it was different being picked on if it's just one event, even though I would prefer no event to happen. But if it's just one event, it's not really categorized as bullying behavior.
Okay. How can someone reframe their bullying story to find empowerment or strength in it?
So are we speaking in reference to the survivor?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what I like to say is, what happened to you is just not for you. It is for you to help someone, because someone else may have experienced some of what you have experienced. And in order for us to receive the help or guidance that we need, we have to share our story. And in return, I've learned that it can be something that we say to them and something that they say to us that can actually heal us. So I think that you should look at it as a lesson, and everything, we should take a lesson from it. Don't allow what happened to you to cause you to just stay where you are and stay in that mind frame, because that's not what God wants us to do. God wants us to move forward and become who He called us to be. And it's part of life. And unfortunately, this is one of the things I would say I would rather not have to experience, or any child or adult have to experience bullying. However, it does exist. So in order to overcome that, I say share your story and know that, use that as motivation to do something greater.
Okay. What advice would you give to someone who is experiencing bullying, whether it's at home, school, workplace, wherever, online? What advice would you give to someone?
The first advice I will give to someone is use your voice. Sometimes we tend to be quiet about it. I can say that, being in a situation where you are being bullied, you may not feel there's any help for you, or nothing is going to happen if you report it, and that person is going to continue bully you. So I would say, speak up, tell an adult or tell someone that you trust that you are experiencing bullying. You can tell them by writing a letter and dropping the letter off. Sometimes you can remain anonymous, but you have to be able to communicate, and don't allow anyone to change your voice or take your voice away from you, because that is your superpower.
Your voice is your superpower. In terms of the book, It Can't Stop With You, Johnnie. Can you just give us a rundown of what happens in the book and what's the outcome of the book?
Well, the book, I would say Johnnie is Johnnie, which is the child that is the bully. And we have Lisa, which is a student that goes to the school. And it starts off by, of course, the first day of school, you're excited, trying to get prepared for the first day of school, trying to figure out what you're going to wear. You're just really excited to get back to school. And what she encountered was bullying on many levels, but it escalated when she encountered Johnnie. And what happened with Johnnie is, let's just say, I use the backdrop of Johnnie having a family, having a mom and a dad, a 2-parent household.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do not communicate with our children and show them that love and support, we're busy doing this and busy doing that. Sometimes when our children need us, they tend to react a different way in the world. If they are not getting the attention that they need in a household, you may see something different when they go to school or when they go somewhere else other than home, because they are getting the attention or they want the attention. So because they want the attention, they actually do something in public and cause a scene. So typically that's what happens with Johnnie. Because he's not getting the attention in his household, he tends to go to school to intimidate others. And Lisa was one of the children that he actually intimidated and caused, and he displayed bullying behavior. And in Lisa's household, she has a 2-parent household. However, the difference is her parents never talked to her about bullying. 2 scenarios. That's why I want to change the narrative of it. It's like sometimes we say, well, we don't want to talk to our kids about this because it's my story. But you have to really figure out where your child is and communicate with them on that level. It's okay to be transparent and share with them your story, because Lisa's mom, she shared a story of her going through something. So Lisa thought she was the only child experiencing bullying behavior, but in fact she wasn't, but mom kept it away from her. She didn't share it with her until it happened to her. So the goal for this book is to change the narrative for others to see. Don't wait for it to happen. Communicate with your child, and also take the necessary time you need with your child, because they are not just going to be little. They are sponges. So they are picking up something somewhere, and you want them to display godly character and not these characteristics that are not bullying. If you change the narrative and take those attributes as far as leadership and being bold and stuff like that, they can be great leaders.
True.
But if you're not talking about it, how would you know?
Very true. Very true. So what you're doing is also pushing parents to have these hard conversations with their kids. Yeah.
Absolutely. And allowing the parents to see that you're not the only one in this position. It may have happened to you. Let's communicate and talk to our child about it. But also, if your child is displaying these behavior, let's address it. Because the first ministry is really home.
Yes, it is. First ministry is at home. Mary, how can communities and school, workplaces, etc., family and friends, how can they better support individuals who have been bullied? And are there online resources that can help?
Yes, there are online resources that can help, which is stopbullying.gov, as well as pacers.org. Those are great organizations that can assist regarding bullying. I would say, as it pertains to a school or organizations or parents, first you have to figure out whether your state has bullying laws or bullying policies and procedures. Most states have bullying laws and procedures. Now, some of them may not practice them, but you have to really get involved to determine and do your research. We have Google, we have smartphones for a reason. Do your research to determine whether or not your state have these laws and familiarize yourself with these. And also, if you have a child that's in school, you need to know what do they have in place if this occurs? How would I be notified if I'm a parent? Will I be notified, if I'm a parent? Like in the state of Virginia, they passed, I believe it was last year, they passed where the teachers, the personnel have 24 hours to notify the parents if their child was involved in bullying behavior. Now, before that, they can just sweep it under the rug and you would never know anything about it.
True.
So these are things we just have to familiarize ourselves with to see what exists and how is it being implemented. Because if we do not do that, we don't want to wait for it to happen to us or come to our doorstep before we address it. We want to do something proactive.
And we don't want to also create a society where we're enabling bullies to go out and, hurt children, because what I've realized these days is that if it is that these things are not addressed, then we're creating kids to go out into the world to continue bullying people. And the truth is, it has a domino effect because we don't know how specifically it affects everyone, whether it's children, adults. We don't know because some people carry it into adulthood, some people don't survive it. And some people pass it on to their kids in terms of how they are. And they start bullying their kids also because they also were bullied. So helping and speaking to our kids and even in communities and schools and just having these important conversations can stop bullying from happening and can create a better and a safer society for our kids, for adults, for everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because there is a great correlation between bullying and domestic violence. Domestic violence and bullying, there's no age limit. You're not exempt, okay? It's not like a tax write-off. We can just say, okay, I'm exempt from it. No, you're not exempt from it. Anyone can experience bullying and domestic violence. And if we do not address it when they are younger, then they become older, and then we have a form of domestic violence.
True. Yep. Very true. And it's harder to curb at that time.
Correct.
Because no one stopped them earlier when they just started it. Yeah. And sometimes, I've seen parents say, oh, well, the kids need to learn to toughen up, so bully them. That's not the right way to go about it. We have to also be cognizant of what we're doing to the kids and how they are displaying it at school and in their environment also. So bullying is not right, period. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's not for fun. It's just not right.
Absolutely. And one of the things you just said is like, as parents, you tell your kid, oh, they just need to toughen up. No. What if my parent, this is how my parent raised us. Okay. You just need to toughen up. Okay. When you become a parent, what are you going to change? Do you believe that what occurred when you was younger was actually the proper way of handling that? Now, there are some, some people call it tradition. There are some methods that should stay with you, but there are some you need to change. Part of the generation is for you to give the next generation something that is going to be lasting, and it is going to help them become who God called them to be.
I agree. It all starts from us parents about how we raise and train our kids and breaking generational curses.
Absolutely.
It's also a generational curse that needs to be broken in terms of how we raise our kids and specifically where bullying is concerned. Yes. Mary, I want you to tell the audience where is it that they can find you? Where can we find your book if they want to connect? Where is it that we can find you?
You can find my book. If you would like an autographed copy, you can visit motivationalmary.com. That's www.motivationalmary.com. You can also visit major retailers online where you can get my book. Amazon does have my book, and there's more retailers that have my book. So if you're not interested in ordering an autographed copy, you're more than welcome to order it from Amazon and other retailers.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Mary, for speaking to us about bullying and the importance and the correlation even that bullying has with domestic abuse. It's having power over someone or wanting to have power over someone. And that is something that we ought to be cognizant of in our lives, because it can be anything small that we're doing that's considered bullying. And as you said earlier in the conversation, even how we deal with our kids. And it starts from there. It all starts from us. It's not right. and we can't stop it. We can't put a stop to it. So thank you so much again for that.
You are more than welcome.
And thank you so much to my listeners on the Unfiltered by Jade. And we will be back next week, Tuesday. Thank you.